everyone, and welcome to Club 3, episode 55 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. It's great to have you with me. So just a quick note on England, who I'm also managing. We're managing Derby County in the Premier League and England internationally currently in this series. There's not a lot that's happened with England. We haven't played any games since the last time you and I were together, but our group draw for next summer's World Cup has been done, and we've been drawn against Colombia and Costa Rica, which I think is a decent draw, really. It's being held in Italy, so the conditions will match basically what we play in England, so that's good for us. So I think we've got a decent shout of getting out the group at least, and then seeing what happens after that. So that's all I need to tell you about with England for now. We're just in preparation for that, so I've got a couple of friendlies booked in with them. I think we've got, let's go and have a look. I think we've got the USA and Chile booked in to try and match those North and South American sides that we're playing in the competition. There's one other friendly booked for March at the moment against Slovakia. So that's pretty much all to tell you about with England at the moment. It's a bit of a quiet section of that game until we come around to next summer's tournament. But when we do, I will probably play a couple of episodes worth of England in the World Cup and see how we get on. So watch out for that as the series continues. So back to Derby County, and things continue to go very, very nicely. We're in 5th place currently on 33 points, still within touching distance of the top 4 though, which is positive, although a little bit of a gap between sort of 3rd and above to us. I'd like to close that if possible. We've played a couple of the big guys recently. Liverpool we got a draw with, and our last game out was a pretty bad defeat against Man City 3-0. I mean, it's bad in the sense of any team that you lose 3-0 to isn't a great performance or result, is it? But it was against Man City, and occasionally those top 6 sides, they really show up and they show you what they can do. And on this occasion, they really did. We were not at the races at all, away from home, so at their stadium. So it was a disappointing day. But up until that point, the month had gone pretty well. Since the last time you and I were together for Chelsea, where we won 3-2, we got a 0-0 draw against Wolves, which was decent enough. Besiktas, we qualified comfortably from our group in the Europa League. You see, top of the group, 6 wins out of 6, 18 points, loads of goals scored, and done really, really well. The knockout phase for that hasn't been drawn yet, so I don't know who I've got for that just yet. I'll fill you in on that next episode. Then we went into the Liverpool match in the Premier League. They're sitting quite high up in the Premier League, and we got a decent 0-0 draw again against them. Then we got a 2-1 win over Norwich in the quarterfinal of the League Cup in England. And that has been drawn. The semi-final, we've got Southampton, which is great. We'll probably come back next episode and play that second Southampton match in the second leg of the semi-final, just to see if we can get through to another final of the competition, which would be great. Then we beat Bristol City, bit of a nothingy game really. We won that 1-0 quite, there wasn't anything to write home about. And then unfortunately we had that defeat against Man City. So you can see overall form is doing pretty well other than that last game. I hope it was a temporary blip against a really good side rather than a bit of a downwards spiral from this point. So we've got to get some points today and just arrest any slide that's there. And we get Newcastle to do that against. So let's go into the competition page and we'll go and take a closer look at where we're all at. And you can see that Newcastle currently sit in 9th position, so a few behind us. And as I say, we're in 5th, so I think it's a good opportunity for us today to get some points on the board at home. I think it is at home anyway. Let's just go and check that. Is it a home game? Yes, it is a home game. So at home against Newcastle in the Premier League, a decent game for us to be playing. We haven't got any major problems in terms of injuries currently, although we've got a lot out for a couple of weeks, which is always a bit disappointing when someone like that is out for a couple of weeks, but it is only a couple of weeks and he will be back fairly soon, which is good. But everybody else is pretty much fit and healthy. We've had some a really tough run of games in December. We currently sit on the 29th of December. I always come and play the last game of a calendar year. So it happens to be this one on the 29th of December against Newcastle. So you can see that December was so ridiculous in terms of how many games we had to play, which means a couple of them are a little bit tired and a bit jaded. So we had to rotate the side a little bit. And so today we've had to do that a little bit again. And today's team is ILM in goal, Bogle at right back, Cooper at left back, Romario and Harwood Bellis in central defence, Ivan, Silas and Martinez in central midfield, with Noel on the right, Farrow on the left and Paoletta up top. With a bench of Story, Matheson, Joku, Olashenko, Barnils, Guive and Monterese. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So we've used the team talk of I expect to see a better performance out of you today from the previous game against Man City. We really weren't very good. I mean, they were excellent, don't get me wrong, but we just didn't show up. So challenge the players to really show up today and do something about it. And we'll just have to see how this particular performance goes. It's Newcastle on the ball down the left-hand side. Early opportunity to get into the box. They do so, and then a really wayward shot. And it doesn't challenge the goalkeeper from Burns. And so we get away with one there a little bit, really. There was a lot of space for Burns to run into at that point and get a decent shot away. And he did the first part very well and then messed his lines up a bit on the second shot, on the second part of that, on the shot. So, yeah, a decent start for them, though. Other than that, the statistics for the match suggest that we've had plenty of possession in the first 20 minutes of the game. A few shots at goal, but nothing really to write home about, no highlights. And again, we're going through a fairly quiet first half, and we're going to have to boost them, I think, at half-time. Noel has picked up a bit of a knock in that last few minutes of the game, and we haven't got a lot on the bench to bring on. We've got a couple of other possibilities. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring, let's have a think about this. I'm going to bring Matheson on for Noel, and then we're going to switch Matheson and Bogle round. So Matheson will go and play at right back, and Bogle can play on that right wing and just provide a bit of support and cover in that position as well. Rather than bring a left-sided winger on to that right side, I'm going to play my attacking fullback in that role and see how we get on there. And that means no change of shape is necessary as well. So let's see how that works out for us in this second half. But disappointing that Noel picked up a bit of a knock. I probably should have done a better team talk than I did at half-time, but never mind, that's kind of come and gone. And we'll see how this second half works out for us. Again, it's Newcastle early on the ball, keeping it quite nicely in their defensive sort of midfield area. And then they go wide right down this wide right-hand side. And we're not really getting close enough to them at the moment to nick the ball away from them. We're keeping shape quite well, but I'd quite like a little bit more of an effort to actually close down the ball properly and get a foot onto it. There's a ball over the top. ILM had to pull off the save, but it was offside. I think it was fairly obvious early on that was an offside decision. But we found a corner kick for Newcastle down this near side. A good headed clearance finds its way to Martinez. And then rather than trying to move it up the pitch and find a decent pass, he just boots it out. And that was a bit disappointing, really. We're going to have to go in and change something about this setup. So I'm going to pause the game there and go into the tactics and see where we're at. You can see that we've got a few issues high up the pitch. We've got a 6.4 from Farrow, 6.5 from Silas. All the normal candidates not quite playing as well as they should be. So Silas comes off, Olashenko comes on, and we are going to take Farrow off and put Guive on. We're protecting Guive a little bit, having come back from his knock, but on this occasion Farrow's not quite doing it, and we need to change something about this setup. So we'll come back out and then use the shout of demand more and just see if we can find a way to improve our stance in this game. And again, we lose out on a loose ball, and Newcastle pick it up and get a little bit untidy in midfield, but work it out and then find a good sweeping ball out to the wide right-hand side with Odegaard, and he puts a ball into the left, into the far left post, and they get a header on goal, and they go 1-0 up after 65 minutes. Just as we've made a couple of substitutions and changed a little bit about our side, they've sucker punched us a little bit. It's not really that though, is it? Because they've been the better side probably over this first 60 minutes or so. It's been a bit of a disappointing performance from us so far. So, and now it's Newcastle with a free kick down the far side. But fortunately, we win the header. Guive on the ball, up to Paoletta, and we get to counter-attack quickly. Paoletta turns on the ball, runs at the defence of Newcastle into the penalty box, far post ball, and it's Bogle, the right-sided fullback that I put in the place of Noel, who's attacking more from that right wing back, that right wing position, and he gets on the ball on that far side and puts the ball home very, very nicely. That's an aspect of the game I didn't really expect from him. I hoped for some good crossing and some good work rate, but he got a chance down that right hand side, right in the top of that 6-yard box, and he puts it underneath the keeper for 1-1. Great bit of play there. Can we do something to capitalise on that and keep in this game? But it's Newcastle straight from the kickoff that have gone down this right hand side, and then we sort of nick the ball from them, but not quite. And they get the ball back, put the cross in, and the header goes over the top of the bar, and we can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief on that one. I think Harwood Bellis did all the hard work to nick the ball and then sort of forgot to take the ball with him, and Newcastle got it back. But it's our chance down the right-hand side. Matheson this time, overlapping Bogle down the right-hand side into Ivan, keeping the ball as we move it across the penalty box, the top of the penalty box, and there's the sweeping ball out wide left to Guive. Picks the ball up, holds the play up a little bit, and again it's Bogle, and chance has gone. No, it hasn't. Bogle gets it back again. Our right-sided defender, playing in a more attacking position, has got 2 goals for us this afternoon. Well, that's brilliant. Well, I'll take that as a tactical masterclass from my point of view. That's incredible. He wins the header, plays a bit of a 1-2 with Martinez, gets it out from under his feet again, and then lashes the ball underneath the goalkeeper. And 2 goals from a player you just wouldn't expect it. But we had to make a decision on that Knoll injury. We didn't have Ollart, so I changed it up. And it's worked brilliantly for us as we've come back into the game. We've got a couple of minutes left. Can we hold on to the win now and get the 3 points from a really tricky game? We've got a corner kick just before the end of the match. Header comes in from a Romario and just over the top of the bar on that occasion. But that should take the sting out of the game. And it does. We reached the final whistle, and Derby County 2, Newcastle 1, 2 goals from Jayden Bogle, our right-sided defender, playing in a slightly weird position, and it works amazingly well for us. Having gone 1-0 down, that was a great comeback. So we'll suggest to the guys it was a nice win, well done. Boost their confidence, as is always the attempt after a game like that, just to keep the confidence high and the momentum of wins under our belt. And that's the other thing that we did. We took away the defeat from Man City last episode, and we didn't let it fester. We didn't lose any more ground. We got straight back into the next game, and we took the 3 points, which is really important. Otherwise you can just begin to drift. If you watch my other series at the moment, my Reputation Rescue, you'll know all about the fact that we were in a decent position with Lazio, and now not really quite so much. It's been a problem. And it's just that momentum and confidence has gone. And in the Derby County side at the moment, confidence is really high. And the momentum is mostly with us. So we go into a bit of a run of games, which is, I think, a good run for us. We've got Birmingham. And then we got Shrewsbury in the FA Cup, a chance to rotate the side a little bit. Then we got the first leg against Southampton in the League Cup. Then some really, really hard Premier League games. 3 in a row, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man City. Really difficult, but we'll try and get a couple of draws at least out of some of them and see if we can nick some points from them, because we need to try and claw our way back to the top 4 if we can. And then we got that second leg against Southampton, and that's what we'll come back for next episode. See if we can get to the English League Cup final against Southampton in that second leg. So I hope you'll join me for that. What it's done for us today is it's kept us in 5th place. We're now what's that? We've got a little bit of a gap though between us and Man United in 3rd. Arsenal were 3 points behind, then another 3 points to Man United. So we've got a little bit of work to do just to keep pace with this group at the top. But I think we're capable of doing it. Over the next few games, we'll find out. So join me for the next episode. Thanks for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. If you like this particular episode and you like the performance of Bogle from right back, moving up and getting 2 goals, which I absolutely love, then please press that like button. Help me get seen by lots of other people. Till next time though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.